All right, let's bring in Mick Aussie right now. As Mick is feeling a lot better about his Denver Broncos than he was earlier in the year. Mick's a diehard Bronco fan, but I got to admit, you gave up on them earlier, Mick. You thought that they sucked, and here they are right now. They don't suck.
Oh, I was just so upset we're paying Russell Wilson all that money, and the Steelers, they're not as good as they think they are. But, mate, I was very impressed yesterday. Early on in the season, the new wide receivers, we've got Franklin, Humphrey, Valet, those guys were mims. They were dropping passes, making mistakes. But yesterday, all those new young kids hardly made a mistake. Sutton was playing awesome. I like this Valet, big tall fella, 7th round pick out of Utah. He looks good, so very impressed with the offense. Defense was good too. Couple of PIs late. Other than that, a really good game, mate. I only just covered, though, because Raiders nearly got that touchdown right at the end, so that was close with the cover.
So it's looking good. There's still work to do if you're the Broncos, but it's looking good as far as the playoffs are concerned. Hanging on to that 7th spot. The Dolphins are kind of the only threat, right? You know what I mean? Like behind them, the Bengals have just lost too many games right now. I mean, they need to really win out here, and I don't see that happening. So the Dolphins, if you're the Broncos, you really like to see the Packers beat the Dolphins and then just sort of finish the Dolphins off. But with all that being stated, Mick, the Denver Broncos looks like they would play the Buffalo Bills in the first round of the NFL playoffs in Buffalo. The 7-2, right? There's only one team that gets the bye now. So the 7th seed will play the 2 seed, the 6th seed plays the 3 seed, and then the 4 and the 5 play each other. So this is the way that it's been a little, unless the Bills somehow, the Chiefs stumble and the Bills can nail down the top seed in the AFC, it looks like it'll be the Broncos at the Bills in the playoffs, Mick.
Wow, you are looking ahead. Mate, the Chiefs totally can stumble. Look at yesterday. Lucky again, that field goal then. But I tell you what, the Dolphins, I will never, ever pick those softies again in the cold weather. And I look today, it's going to be like 1 degree Fahrenheit, minus 17 Celsius in Green Bay. Mate, they might as well just not show up because they're terrible in the cold weather. The softies from Miami. I do like the Dolphins at home. No way can I pick them up in the cold weather in Green Bay.
You know what? Looking at the Chiefs' schedule, all right, so saying, can they stumble along the way? The Bills are 1 game behind them, so the Bills would need to keep winning, and let's just say the Chiefs lose again and they got the equal amount of losses. The Bills beat the Chiefs, so hypothetically the Bills would have the top seed after if they were ended up tied at the end. So they play the Raiders on Friday, Mick, but the thing is, we already saw that, the Raiders beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day last year. I don't see it happening 2 years in a row.
No, I like the +7 for the Raiders, but the trouble is, mate, with the Bills, if you want
13,
that top
Mick.
seed,
Plus 13.
Oh,
plus
wow.
13.
You're fighting against Roger Goodell and Taylor Swift and all that. You totally know they want the Chiefs #1. It's just corruption, mate. You know that. So the Bills, hope they can.
No, the Raiders just suck. It's not corruption.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's roll. Level 3 continues. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabe Morency. SportsGrid on demand on YouTube. Hawaii late night basketball. Can't beat it. Okay, Mick Aussie in the house with us. And Mick, I told people, and I don't know if you saw my tweets last week, but I've been talking about this, for about 2 weeks now, about Bo Nix being Rookie of the Year. And Jaden Daniels was killing it earlier in the year, but it's a long season, man, right? You play 17 games. You don't award, all right, you want to give Rookie of the Month to Jaden Daniels in September, fine. Rookie of the Month in October, fine. But as the season goes on, Jaden Daniels is losing games. He's not playing great. And Bo Nix is winning games. And they're winning. Earlier in the season, Bo Nix struggled a bit, but now Bo Nix is really starting to come together. It's not crazy that Bo Nix wins the Rookie of the Year. The betting value is gone now, guys. He was plus 400 last week before this weekend. And I warned everybody. I said, man, if Daniels doesn't kill it this week against Dallas and Bo Nix has another big game, it's going to be like a pick 'em. And now it is, Mick. Bo Nix is basically a pick'em to be rookie of the year right now. And if he ends up being it, then Sean Payton's going to end up looking pretty good in all of this.
Yeah, well, that loss by the Commanders really annoyed me yesterday. I had lots of points on them. But you're right, and it's pretty basic in some ways, isn't it? He was the last of the quarterbacks in the first round, but he played so many games in college. Doesn't that help? Of course it does. What did he play, 50 games in college or something like that? Of course that helps. Not like these guys that play 1 or 2 years and think they're going to be great. So, yes, he looks very good. But like I said, his wide receivers are starting to catch the ball and not make many mistakes. And Sutton was playing really well. So, yeah, he's looking good. He is. Yeah, big, tall, white fella. Looks good, mate. Absolutely.
All right, so we need, we're talking about the Chiefs getting knocked off here. The Chiefs play the Raiders on Friday. Then it's they play the Chargers that we just saw tonight, Sunday Night Football, Chargers at Chiefs. And you know what? This is a tough you have a tough stretch coming up for the Chiefs, actually. So they legitimately do have a chance to stumble, guys. The Chiefs play on Black Friday, so Friday the 29th. Then they catch a break. So they get a little bit of time off. They're not playing until next Sunday again. So they get an extra, they get the little layoff. But then there's a quick turnaround. They're playing on the Sunday, then they play the Sunday again. But then there's a quick turnaround against the Texans. So in other words, like between December the 8th and December 21st, they're playing 3 football games. And then they play on Christmas Day. So they play December 21st and December 25th. Like the Chiefs, this is where they're going to hit the wall, right? And Mick, it's almost like they're a CFL team. It's the downside. We all bitch. You just talked about the conspiracies and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and Mahomes. Well, they got these guys playing like 4 games in 15 days, 16 days, Mick. That's very CFL-like, unheard of, like that they're going to have to turn around so much because they're a popular team. They're on TV during the holidays. It's going to catch up to them. So Raiders at Chiefs, Chargers at Chiefs, Chiefs at Browns, Texans at Chiefs, Chiefs at Steelers, the day Christmas Day, Chiefs at Steelers, and then Chiefs Broncos. Mick, the season ends with the Chiefs at your Denver Broncos. You're right. I think the Chiefs could lose a couple of games before this is all done.
Wow. I don't like Chiefs or the Steelers, but I probably have to hope the Steelers beat the Chiefs, don't I? But yeah, that'd be 3 of the teams might make the playoffs from the AFC, that division. So Chargers are looking good. And I think your Bills are going to look real good this week if Brock Purdy's still out. I mean, his shoulder, you don't know, mate. So your Bills are looking good. I'm quite impressed. But I think the Broncos might cover the 5.5 against the Browns at home. I like that one if they can keep playing mistake-free football. That's what they did yesterday, other than a couple of pass interferences. But why did they throw the ball in that last 2 or 3 minutes? They nearly gave it back to the Raiders. I couldn't believe that. Just run it. Run the clock out. That was weird. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Yeah, teams do strange things, Mick. And even NFL coaches that are going to the Hall of Fame all do really weird things late in football games. So as Mick mentioned, guys, next Monday Night Football will be live. The Cleveland Browns are in Denver. So Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos, -5.5. The total's 42. Sunday Night Football will be on as well. San Francisco 49ers, 7-point underdogs in Buffalo. And it looks like San Francisco are going to be shorthanded once again in this football game. We'll obviously track their injury situation throughout the week. And then, Mick, we got a triple header on Thursday. Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, and then the good one, the Dolphins and the Packers on Thursday night. And you think the Packers are going to beat them because the Dolphins are soft.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the Packers -3. If it was in Miami, no, I'd take the Dolphins. But they're soft in that cold weather, and it's going to be cold. And I like the Lions. I have no problems taking the 10.5. The Lions are absolutely on fire. They might slip up, but not against a divisional opponent in the Bears. And the Cowboys and the Giants, like, you might as well go and do your snow and rake the snow off the lawn or pick up the dog crap out the back. Because who wants to watch that terrible game? Cowboys and Giants. What a mess. And why aren't the Giants playing Drew Lock paid him $5 million and they played Danny DeVito's kid. That's ridiculous. Giants are a mess. You like them. I know you do, but I can't stand the Giants either. Cowboys would probably win that, but I don't like the 4 points there. Could go either way.
I think Dallas are the play here, actually.
Yeah.
Dallas, the Giants are a clown show right now. Right? The players are starting to quit. I think their coach is lost, starting to lose the room right now. The players are probably starting to think the coach is going to get fired anyways. Dallas always beat them. And also, Mick, Dallas haven't won at home yet this year. They got to win a home game for their fans. And they're just sort of like, Dallas have been getting punched in the mouth, but they've had a million injuries. Like, they actually haven't quit, right? Like, you saw they tried against Washington. I think actually, as crazy as it sounds, Dallas is the play on Thursday. Good stuff, Mick. We'll see you next week.
All right, and Bill Belichick back at the Giants. He might be rejuvenated with